So the first thing to decide is where your pages are going to go, and they can go in any direction or order that you want, but you do want your sets together for the most part so that you have the ability to do a 2-page spread, and it will leave a white back-to-back in between it. Okay, so I'm going to leave these like this, but you want to think about composition, right? If this big blob and this big blob are next to each other, maybe I want to spin it this way. Maybe I like it that way. It's up to you, but really do consider the direction. You can also add in up to 5 pages of blank or colored papers for the purpose of our book for class. So I'm going to stick a set of 2 blue construction papers and a set of 2 white in there and just do 4 extras. All right. Once you have tested out the layout and decided the order you want them in, we'll move on to the next step. For just a little added stability, I'm actually going to put some rubber cement here. You could also use PVA glue or any other kind of glue that is flexible and not super rigid. So something really made for paper crafting is better. You do not want to get it all in the creases. You just want a small amount on the edge, which is why I like the rubber cement, because it's a little sticky and it's not going to flow through. So I've got binder clips on the side and just literally the lightest of brushing along that edge just to give it a little extra tack when we go to sew. It's not really net required, but it definitely will help. All right. So now I have my stack of pages all lined up with the edge of my cover sheet. So I'm just lining them up. I still have my binder clips on just the pages. I'm going to shift it to on top of the cover now. All right, so I'm not letting these move as best as I can. And I'm going to take the cover and I'm actually going to fold it, but also crease the side. So one of my hand is holding here, and I'm going to shift it a little bit. It's not going to line up perfectly because of the thickness of the pages. But I'm going to take my bone folder now, and I'm going to run it along the edge. I'm pressing pretty hard here to get it all squished together. So I'm holding my papers in place with one hand, and I'm using my bone folder, not just to fold the top, but to crisp the edge. So I'm running it side to side here to make kind of like a back spine of the book. And you can see it's kind of flattened now as opposed to rolled. So I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. I'm going to flip it, and I'm going to press with the edge of my bone folder to crease that edge. And then I'm going to take my binder clips and clip it on into place so that we can sew it now. All right, so the next part is to prep the holes, and this is going to take a little elbow grease. You're going to press hard. I like to use our rulers, the little School Smart rulers that we have in the drawer, because the line here, the distance between the edge of the ruler and this line, is a great distance in for where your hole should go for our blanket stitch. So I'm going to line up the 0 and the 12 so that it's basically like a little box on the edge of my book. And you can do this with a pencil first if you want, but I'm actually just going to hold the ruler in place and use my awl. This is called an awl, A-W-L. And I'm going to start to poke at every whole number, at every inch. A little hole. We will go through all the layers once I remove the ruler, but for right now, I'm just making them nice and even by putting the hole, the little beginning of my hole, marking it there at the whole numbers, and keeping that little line there along the edge. You obviously don't want one right at the end there. It's fine there, If you really wanted to put a little extra one, like a 1/2 inch in, you could, but I'm gonna leave my edges where it is and it's totally fine. So you should be able to see the hole is prepped. Now you need to go through all the layers, and you can see I have binder clips all my edges to hold it in place because I really don't want anything moving around on me right now. And now that I'm going to go through all the layers, you also really need to make sure that you have your mat underneath so that you don't damage the table or the awl. After you get all the holes poked through to the back, you might want to just double check that they are in fact big enough. Some of mine went through really great, some of them not so much. So I'm just going through and making them a little bit more even from front to back. This will also push some of that extra paper because we didn't punch the paper away, we just kind of pushed it away. So this will push it back towards the inside of the book a little bit as well. And then after you have all your holes going straight through from front to back, we are ready to sew. So the last step in this process is to actually sew the edge. So we're going to use a blanket stitch for our binding, and we're going to sew the binding over the spine. So we flattened the spine a little bit and put a little bit of rubber cement to help just like keep it in place, but the stitching is what's going to hold it there. So what I have here is a tapestry needle. I have my thread double threaded, and I have a big old knot here. Okay, we're actually going to use that to create a hitch when we start. There are ways that you could hide this knot on the inside, especially if you had a curved needle, or if you wanted to open up this part and stick the needle in from the inside. But if you don't want to do that, the simpler way is to just use a double thread with a big kind of knot at the end, okay? So what we're going to do is we're going to pass the needle through, and rather than just letting the knot be the stopper, because that'll just pull right through with some tension, we're actually going to pass our thread and our needle through the space there. So we're passing it through, and it's going to hitch on. It's going to kind of attach right like that. All right. Now we want to thread always in the same direction. We're going to go below, so from the bottom to the top. Let's see what I'm doing. So from the bottom to the top, but instead of just letting it zigzag like that, we're actually going to pass it right through this part here, through both layers. And then we're going to pull tight, and that makes a little straight stitch. So it's the same motion. We're on the top right now. We're going to go up from the bottom, straight up, and then through here. Put this paper so you can see the thread contrast. So from the bottom to the top, as it starts to get lower, loop it through, so pass it under the stitch length, and then you're going to tighten. I am tightening as I go because it's difficult to do this all at the end. So you can see I'm kind of like tugging on it and keeping tension on this so that it doesn't get loose. A loose stitch is a sad stitch. It will fall out. All right, so I'm passing under. And then you just keep going all the way to the end, which you'll see in a second. All right, so I'm at the end. I'm going to move this binder clip out of the way, and it should look like a nice little ladder. Okay, this is called a blanket stitch. And now all we need to do is secure our knot. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to hold it this way. I'm going to take my needle, I'm going to pass it under and then through that loop there. And I'm going to pull, and I'm going to do that a couple times. So under this loop that's left, I'm going to pass my needle through it, keeping it taut. One last time. All right, and there it is. Now, if you want to be fancy, this is a little way to kind of hide it, so I tucked it back in there, back to the other side, and I'm just going to trim from there. Carefully don't cut that part because your whole thing will unravel. And now you can take off your clips. Is your book. Now we are going to kind of flatten these pages as we go a little bit. You can use the bone folder to do that if you prefer. And it should look nice and secure. That's it. You're done.